Hello everyone, and welcome to the incredible 18th episode of Pokemon A to Z. Here with me, I have, repeating from earlier this week, our incredible coach Tay. Say hello.
Hey, what's up?
So Tay is one of the most consistent coaches in VGC draft that I've seen. And I believe you did pretty well with the in the Evergrande circuit when that was a thing, right?
Yeah, I got like top 4.
That's pretty good.
In the VBL one.
So, this episode we have quite the interesting collection of Pokemon. Banette, who is certainly not a mainstay on the ladder at this point. And a Pokemon that I have actually seen having some use, though definitely not the toppest of tier, but finally breaking out of the letter W, we have Uxie. So we've broken out of both the letter A and the letter W in the same episode. Very powerful. So would you prefer to take us through Banette or through Uxie?
Talk about Uxie, because I have no idea what Banette does. Alright, so Uxie's kind of like a discount Cresselia. Yep. You got the Levitate, you got the Psychic type, you got the Bulk.
Very good defenses.
It just doesn't have as much HP.
A lot faster though.
Yep, it's faster, and I think it has about the same amount of like support moves.
Yeah, it's a very...
It doesn't have like... It doesn't have the new broken healing move, but...
Yeah, no Lunar Blessing.
Lunar Blessing, but... You know, it's got screens, you've got Encore, you've got your setup with Calm Mind, Nasty Plot, and then your Trick Room,
doesn't have Nasty Plot, right? That's just Uxie.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
Yawn is pretty big, actually.
Yawn
Uxie is really nice.
Stealth Rock, our favorite. Imprison obviously has some utility, generally more so for drafts, and you can do like Calm Mind, or you can do the chant Amnesia Nasty Plot, because you're scared about dying faster with the stored power set. And it has Sandstorm, which I don't believe Cresselia does. Outside of that, yeah. I think it's got a pretty reasonable, so it's got 75 in both its offensive stats, so you do find yourself, I think, sometimes running Physical, though a little bit less often because of Intimidate and the fact that Zen is less reliable than Psychic. But it has a pretty reasonable physical moveset. If you run into a Pokemon like Sizzle, you're not surprised to see yourself taking on like a Fire Punch. Obviously Foul Play is a pretty general good utility move, and then Acrobatics is also pretty reasonable. But Play Rough is, I think, the main thing to deal with the... so like Fire to deal with the Steals, and then Play Rough to deal with the Darks that otherwise would take your Psychic moves pretty well. And U-Turn's a really good utility move. And then in terms of its special damage, which is something you may often pair with something like a Calm Mind or a Nasty Plot. Grass Electric Fairy, pretty reasonable coverage. I've seen people run Charge Beam before, though I feel like that's probably not as good as its new signature move, Mystical Power. For many reasons.
Yeah, Mystical Power is just straight up better, and I think it's good on Uxie because you're bulky enough to set up for a couple turns.
Yeah, you can generally get multiple of them off, and maybe even pair it with like Draining Kiss to get extra off, because Terra Fairy does tend to be what Psychic types gravitate towards.
Yep.
And you know, I'm sure there's probably a matchup where Power Hub Solar Beam comes in, but outside of that, yeah, I think it's mostly, you know, occasionally Shadow Ball, but generally going to be running Psychic and Fairy as your two main offensive moves. Thunderbolt definitely has some matchups. Grass definitely has some matchups. But yeah, I think, yeah, the two main like modes for this is it's either like a screen support option, or it's sitting there with like a Mystical Power or Helping Hand. Sorry, screen support or Trick Room support, or sitting there with like a Mystical Power and Helping Hand just to try and make it like stick on the field and annoy your opponent as much as possible. Banette is a different Pokemon. Insomnia does have some good utility on a Pokemon with access to Trick Room. It's a Mono Ghost thing with a fairly reasonable attack stat and a fairly usable special attack stat. Fairly middling bulk, though more HP than many different ghosts, and an average-ish speed, certainly below average, but not one that necessarily deals with Trick Room, but it is a Trick Room setter itself. Insomnia, good in a Trick Room setter because it deals with Spore, or Hypnosis, or Lovely Kiss, whichever their route is to try and stop you setting Trick Room. And then Frisk is good in any format without open team sheet, because it will let you know what items your opponents have. And that information can allow you to make a lot of different decisions. Curse Body, outside of that, pretty good.
Frisk is very nice for Trick Room setter, because if you're going like a fake out Trick Room route, you can see cover cloaks and stuff like that on the opposing team.
I'd say it's probably slightly better on the fake out mod than the Trick Room option, but definitely not the worst place to have it. Now, it does suffer from being a Ghost type, and thus Shadow Claw being its strongest physical stab move besides the 2-turn Phantom Force, but its damage is generally pretty good. I think Mega Banette saw some limited play with like Prankster Destiny Bond, but I think having gotten Trick Room this gen really makes it a more interesting option. And yeah, it does have like the standard Wisp, Thunder Wave, Confuse Ray, just shenanigans to try and stop your opponent playing the game. But I think Knockoff is honestly pretty reasonable utility, and you can probably get away with like a Calm Mindset with like Shadow Ball and D-Gleam, just because it's how Pokemon work, you know?
I think they should have given this Pokemon Prankster like in the normal form.
Yeah,
we
but
needed
it's got
another
3 cool abilities as it is. I don't think we need more Prankster Pokemon.
We need more Prankster Encore Disable.
I think we don't, actually. You know what? I'm going to come out and controversially say I feel like we have enough. So yeah, I definitely think this Pokemon gravitates towards being a Trick Room mon that is like, it's a Trick Room setter and also pretty offensive as well. Now, Uxie is a pretty good mon. We have it at 11 points in VBL, and I think we have Banette at 3. I think Banette's fine at 3. Obviously, you know, Poppin drafted, and Poppin has the correct opinions or something. So, therefore it must be good. Just like Wugtrio.
Yes,
yeah.
just like Wugtrio.
It has Curse, but it's a Ghost type. Curse is great if you want to get a free switch on a Sash set. It's like U-turn for Ghost types. Tends to do more damage than the U-turn as well. But yeah, I think that...
I think the saving grace of this Pokemon is that it has good priority with Sneak and Sucker Punch.
For sure. And like, it's not unusual for Ghosts to Terra Dark either, which is pretty alright for it. And Shadow Claw is a high crit rate move, so you can theoretically run Scope Lens on it, and then it's able to deal with Intimidate and the like. Though maybe if you want a Trick Room set, you might want to run Mental Herb or even a Focus Sash with that Curse option. I think that these two probably seem to gel best into a Trick Room team.
For sure.
Yeah. So I'd probably put the Trick Room, like a Trick Room Mystical Power version on Uxie, and I do think this is maybe one of like those Helping Hand sets. And then, like, I genuinely think this is probably like a reasonable set for Uxie in most situations. If you're out of Trick Room, Helping Hand is still going to be fine. It's also reasonably fast. And Mystical Power and Draining Kiss are just a good combination of moves to have.
Yeah, I might put, like, personally, I'd probably put Yawn on the Uxie, but that's just because I like Yawn. I like the move.
I think that it could potentially come over Helping Hand. I just don't love the idea of running, you know, in a format with like 8 really good Dark types, running Mono Psychic. You know, even Indeedee doesn't do that, and Indeedee's Psychic moves are really strong. So I'm fine with doing that over Helping Hand. I think Helping Hand is good for supporting the Trick Room mode. Yawn is good for punishing someone for trying to play around Trick Room. So what do you prefer then, Yawn or Helping Hand?
I like Hyun.
Okay. And then we probably want to Terra into Fairy, or are we concerned about Goldango enough to run maybe like a Steel Terra?
Nope, Banette will kill all the Goldengos. We don't have to worry about them.
So is this what we're committing to?
Yes.
Okay. And then what are we running as our last move? I wish it said Play Rough. I think it'd be cool.
Sucker Punch?
For like a Trick Room abuser, maybe Knockoff is better.
Oh,
like if we're trying to win in Trick Room, it may
actually
help
we
to
should
do that.
probably have something to hit dark types, right?
This is also meant to be mental health. That's true. Get Drain Punch? No. It gets Gunk Shot, that hits dark types.
It certainly does. Man. It has no moves.
Just Pounce. Because Pounce and Gunk Shot.
Out of Trick Room mode.
Well, if you KO the dark type, that's all you need, right?
True.
I think it's Gunk Shot though, because Pounce
Yeah,
is neutral.
Gunk Shot
into
just
Chi-Yu.
does more damage.
Alright, so I think we're investing special defense on this because this is our Flutter Mane check. Any agreements, disagreements?
I'm not sure this survives any attack from Flitter Mane.
With Terra Poison.
Like-
We must. We have to.
What if they throw out a fire move? Are we just gonna be baiting
What does
them
Fire Move do? We're
to-
Terra Poison.
Well, check the calcs on like a neutral Heat Wave.
Heat Wave from Flutter Mane?
Oh, I thought we were talking about Chi-Yu.
No. This isn't a Chi-Yu check. We don't do anything to Chi-Yu. So we poison, and we're just gonna obviously play around booster special rather than specs because. And would you look at that? Even with this random investment I threw together, it survives. Though I think it's probably gonna be something like this. Alright, it should be minus speed because we're a Trick Room. Alright, now I think we might. I'm too scared of dark types, but I want to go Terra Ghost so that we actually don't immediately lose to the Funny Bear. Or maybe we just run our own Funny Bear. Is that the solution? It does synergize well with Funny Bear with Levitate.
We could run Funny Bear or we could run Iron Hands. Although I don't know if you want to use Iron Hands after our match.
Well, to be fair, your Iron Hands did very little.
It didn't know.
I did like focus my entire like game into mitigating its ability to play the game, but yeah, didn't do that much. So I think we're like orienting towards Fistef on this as a result of Banette being especially defensive.
Okay.
Do we even live that shadow? Okay, maybe we should run a little bit more special defense so that we live Life Orb plus. Okay, 160. I'm calculating level 100. That's the problem. I was thinking it's just a little bit odd. Okay, so if we go 92, 180, then we always live one turn of Life Orb plus a Shadow Ball from Booster Modest Flutter Mane. I mean, I think Funny Bear probably synergizes particularly well with Uxie in ways that Iron Hands is just good on every game plan. Then we could theoretically run both, right? But it's not like we're taking a particularly top-heavy thing. You know, if you hadn't just picked up Iron Hands, then whoever the Ursaluna haver, I don't. Sora could have picked up Iron Hands as well, you know?
Hit burn half their budget on 2 months.
Build Earthquake, Facade, Ghost. I mean, this is definitely classically my favorite Ursaluna set. And then...
You like Swords Dance?
Yes, yes. I find Swords Dance are really good because +2 Facade, 1-hit KOs Heatran. And then you can ignore them whether they want to Terror or not.
I think running just Earthquake feels a little...
With Facade though.
Yeah. I was just thinking of like Terra Ghost.
Are we concerned about other Pokemon? Or sorry.
Just ghost types in general.
That's what Earthquake's for.
Yeah, but
we got a ground
then we
immunity.
hit our...
I think with the Earthquake set we probably want a second ground immunity.
Okay.
But I do think Earthquake is good. Until Arboliva becomes the meta counter. But you're right, I do think we would want a second ground immunity with this. But I think that, yeah, the two main things that come to mind right now is I want a Shifu resist, and I want it's a rapid Shifu, and I want a second ground immunity. Ideally something that can take Goldengo on better than Banette as well. Maybe it's like Rotom?
Shifu resist. Yeah, Rotom Wash.
Definitely is an option. No, stop moving. I should not be minus special attack, I should be minus speed, because this is a Trick Room team. Yeah, like the more bulky version of Ursaluna's always been pretty consistent in my experience. So are we just like running room service on Rotom Wash and throwing on maybe some like Hydro Pump Discharge?
Does it hit any speed calcs with room service?
Well, you see, that's what probably that's what calcing subsequent to deciding to do the move is for, right? You always commit and then decide whether it makes sense. That's not Reginald Barrington at all. -1. I'm gonna guess it probably doesn't do this, but it probably covers like neutral speed. But I'm not 100% on that. So does it cover neutral speed? It speed ties neutral speed, so we would just drop an IV. So if we do this, then it will be slower than like non-Trick Room Iron Hands and Ursaluna. Or like just any with a min speed, like a neutral speed nature.
What if we just go... What if we just like go min speed?
It's definitely an option. Do we... I guess we probably would hit slot that, right? Though then comes the question of why we're running room service instead of power item. Well, we probably are. Yeah, we are faster than a min speed outside of something like this with the minus speed.
Yeah.
Though I don't know if I probably
this
want
looks good.
to turn towards Thunderbolt on this set.
No discharge with no Disquake.
Discharge with Ursaluna is good, but I'm concerned about our matchup into Chien-Pao right now.
Okay.
If we want this to be our physically defensive one, we want it to be able to threaten Chien-Pao. I have no idea what the best terror is for a Rotom. It could just be electric for damage.
Yeah, electric or something for Rillaboom. Something that resists Rillaboom, like poison.
Yeah, poison's okay. So 2 more mons. What is it that you're interested in? We probably want something that can function in fast mode, and then something else that's quite good. in Trick Room. Do you have any preferences? I think Intimidate would probably be nice, right?
We do need something to hit dark types. Like a barrier fighting.
Yeah. Is there so if we look at the fairy types in the format, Azumarill is an option. Grimmsnarl is an option. Sylveon is an option. Could do Tinkaton. Tinkaton's pretty good at getting Trick Room set up. I use Tinkaton a lot in this series. It's pretty good. Fighting type wise, is there a slower fake out fighting in this format besides Iron Hands? I guess Hariyama, but I've used that a lot too.
I don't think there is.
It's like Toxicroak, I think, is the next slowest. Ah, no, Medicham at 80.
Oh, Meditite. Meditite is
You know, we could do Meditite. It has telepathy.
If you want.
I don't know why we would do it over Medicham, considering I think we run a Sash on both. But all I'm saying is, and then we can run Discharge again. Does it get Vacuum Wave? No? What is this? Why doesn't it get Vacuum Wave? Well, all I'm saying is it is an option, you know?
Are we doing this Trick Room?
Oh, that's right, it gets Trick Room. We can do that too. And then like Psychic. And then we can run Discharge again because we no longer feel weak to the other guy.
This is such a
Why is it running forward
weird
attack?
set. Because you have Fake Out.
Why is it 252? We've got a Focus Sash. All I'm saying is that this is, look, come OCIC, which got cancelled. This is the set I would have been running if not for them cancelling OCIC. So that's
This is why they cancelled it.
This is actually why they cancelled it.
Expose the meta.
They weren't happy with the Pinsir I brought last time. They were apprehensive of the Medicham. So for our last one, what's something that is just you may enjoy using in a faster mode? Because currently I think Uxie functions perfectly fine in a faster mode, and Banette's probably usable in one. Rotom and Ursaluna are both okay there. Medicham is awkward, but do we pick your Pokemon?
My Pokemon?
Your guy, the fellow.
My guy? Who's
the
that?
King of the Eagles.
Oh, right. Yeah, we could go Tornadus.
We slap on the funny cloak. Oh. It's getting some preparation since I'm coming up to Taunt T in like 20 episodes. Liquid Storm, Tailwind. Do you think just Taunt Icy Wind last two, or Protect makes sense to you?
Protect's always nice for Chien-Pao.
Yep, that's true.
I kind of like Heat Wave.
Sure.
We don't have fire moves on this team.
We could I can always drop Swords Dance to Fire Punch. I'm sure that'll do a lot of value. Do you get Flamethrower? No, just Fire Punch. Imagine if Medicham, because it has the same attack and special attack stat, right? Imagine if it had like a moveset that represented that. Maybe Bullet Punch is better than Psychic. I think Bullet Punch is better than Psychic. I also think it should be plus special attack. This is our real Flutter main check. And we probably want to be a fairly offensive variant of this, right? Because we kind of expect to get taunted in any Taunt mirrors. Can we make it live Ice Spinner?
I doubt it.
I mean, we're not going for Crash. We're just going for Ice Spinner.
No, Crash would miss against us.
Exactly. That's why we're only going for Ice Spinner. We would need a lot of. We would need to take basically everything out of speed. Is there another thing that we might want to try and live?
Well, that's why we Terra Fire. So
yeah, yeah. So is there something we might want to live instead?
Maybe a
Thunder Punch. I'm sure that'll be...
Thunder Punch from what? Oh, Iron Hands?
Yeah, it turns out the max defenses. It does. So, let's say we drop the max defense. We would need, like, actual defense investment. Should probably put these both at level 50 as well. Or is there another calc that you think we should invest for?
Maybe just...
Alright, we're already max speed.
I don't know, is Bundle relevant?
Not particularly. It's not unusable, but I think we've played against one in this series, and only on like a snow team, in which case you're gonna die to the Ice Shard Hurricane, Blizzard anyways, right?
Yeah.
Could do... So yeah, well, we take a Thund Bolt. Not very well if it's level 100, turns out. I mean, that's probably more achievable. So I think we run Speed Booster, we're still faster than Thund, right? We need to hit 180. Let's look at 4. Yeah, so this version was max HP. We'd need to take that out of special attack, but that's feasible. Or do you think it's better just to commit to the offensive version?
No. Fine. This is like a support mod. Bleak Windstorm is a support move.
That is very true. Similar to Rock Slide in that way, I believe. Okay, so when our opponents see this, I think they will consider forfeiting at lead. So have you logged into the account?
What ladder are you on? Like
1400s, I believe.
Okay. If I saw this at 1400,
I mean,
I'd be very scared.
We can look at a few of the other teams. 1400. 1400 consists of two things: net deck teams, and then teams that people have made because they want to have fun. Now, personally, I'm opposed to other people having fun, which is why I want to lead Banette. But what do you think we lead with Banette?
I think.
Is it Ursaluna?
No, I think we go Disquake.
I think we go Ursaluna, Rotom,
Or
with Banette in the
Ursaluna.
back.
Ursaluna Uxie or Ursaluna Rotom.
I expect them to set
those
Trick Room.
options. Right. It's probably like Among Us. With,
I mean, I'm fine with bringing, Ursaluna, Uxie, Banette, Rotom. I don't think Torn is any good here, and I don't think Metacham's any good here. So it's a question
we Frisk?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Banette,
I just
Ursaluna.
realized that we have no Spore counter. Spore answer.
Alright, we're not Insomnia. It's fine, I ran Terra Grass on Metacham. You're the Pokemon we're not bringing.
Okay, we just get the Flame Orb off and we can't get Spore.
They are Choice Band Explosion, which is exactly what we expected. I just realized that's not good for us. So I think I sneak the Mimikyu and Protect with Ursaluna.
Yeah.
So let's see if they explode. They did not explode. In fact, they Zen headbutted. How did they know that I was Terra? So I think we protect Banette and Earthquake.
Earthquake or Facade the Azelf?
The Azelf is locked into Zen Headbutt.
Okay. We can Earthquake.
Okay, it turns out they did go for it. into the funny guy. Why does that not die? Okay. You know what, maybe the Facade play was correct.
Maybe.
If I Terra Poison, do we live Sneak? Maybe. That's not reliable.
60%.
Do we switch in Rotom into the Banette slot and protect us Luna?
Will Well,
I think I switch in
protecting
Rotom. Actually, I think
Ursaluna-
we double switch. I think we switch Uxie into the Ursaluna slot.
Yeah.
I want to Terra Fairy the Ursaluna here. I want to Hydro Pump the Azelf and Terra Fairy Mystical Power the Mimikyu.
Seems like the play.
We could set Trick Room as well, but these are their fastest Pokemon, so that probably isn't the correct play. I forgot that Zen was Stab because I was too fixated on Boom. That does a pretty considerable amount of damage. We hit Hydro Pump. I think we just get that. I think we just hacks them. Okay, if Iron Hands doesn't come out, we're in an okay position. We are in an okay position. So, do we protect the... so we either Hydro Pump and Mystical Power the... we Hydro Pump the Azelf and Mystical Power the Torkoal, or we protect the Rotom, right?
I think we protect Rotom and we get rid of Azelf, maybe.
Then Uxie will die.
Yeah.
I'd rather Mystical Power the Torkoal, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm just really
it's
scared
just
of Torkoal.
Azelf kind of... Oh, we have Shadow Snake.
We do have Sneak, yeah. No flinch? No flinch. No miss either. Okay, I think the Eruption probably still picks up. Oh, it's Heat Wave. It does still pick up. But yeah, we've got Sneak. I think, do we Discharge or do we go for Hydro?
We go for Hydro, because they can always miss a...
Depending on what their last one is,
Hydro
Ursaluna
still
might
does
sweep.
more...
Yeah, it does do more.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh. Okay, depending on what the last one is, Ursaluna can win. It needs to be a Hatterene that dies. If Hatterene dies, we win. Hatterene did not
No.
die. The Terra Psychic didn't wind up being important because they doubled the Rotom. Sorry, Terra Fairy. And then we took more damage from Zen. But I don't think we lived the Eruption in Sun with the specs.
I don't know, I feel like clicking Eruption is a big call there.
Yeah.
But I think the bigger play was to facade the Azelf.
Yeah. Azelf wound up being much better than I expected it to. So you'll pick the buttons for game 2, yeah?
Okay.
I think our sets wound up being okay. We could have used Yawn on Uxie. Potentially. Okay.
What
This is a weird ass team.
is this?
This is
It's gonna
like
be a long game.
6 normal Pokemon, but they all like don't make sense together.
No,
The
this
screens
is
are-
like Ultra Stall. This is what it looks like.
It's Annihilate on Ultra Storm?
It's
Um,
like either bulk up or it's maybe Final Gambit to just
Yeah.
get
Do
rid
we
of something.
just do the same for us last time, but with the Rotom Ursaluna lead this time?
Yeah, the Rotom Ursaluna looks really good.
I'm starting to think that Medicham and Banette, and Torm were maybe not the best decisions. So I immediately want to Wisp the Annihilate.
Mm-hmm.
Do we just protect Ursaluna, or do we ever switch into Banette?
Do we lose anything from... Actually, never mind. Yeah, I like Wisp and... Uxie could... Uxie's probably a good switch.
Yeah, it can be, yeah.
Okay.
Oh no! Oh no!
No.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. We traded. I completely went for Terra Ghost there.
What? What?
Okay, so what are we doing in this situation?
I don't know. We could yawn actually.
Yawn the Annihilate, and do we protect the Rotom or?
They probably target Uxie, right?
So we can Hydro Pump the Arcanine. We could Whisk the Arcanine as well. But Hydro Pump the Arcanine and Yawn the Annihilate.
Yeah. Nice.
I didn't realize I was playing against myself. Okay.
No,
Like I said.
This Rotom is
so
effective.
just protect and switch in Ursaluna in the Uxie slot.
Okay, you think he's gonna go for it again? If he's gonna target the
Ursaluna's going
Rotom
for
slot,
Rage
it's
Fist
gonna be a
into Uxie, I
Rage
think.
Fist, right?
Yeah. So that's why I want to go Ursaluna.
Yeah, we have a free switch to Ursaluna, basically.
It also sets the burn up if they switch the Annihilate. Like, okay.
Alright.
Do we
Does
count that?
count?
I don't know if we count that.
I'll take the win,
Okay.
but are you counting that for your video?
I think we might go for another 2 games. Also, I realized I was clicking buttons when it was your turn. Okay. Now this is more like a team I would expect to play. Do we accept the open team sheets? I feel like we don't. I feel like we'd give too much information.
Yeah.
And we have Frisk, so. So this feels like a Metacham game, right?
For sure.
Now the question is, what does Metacham next do?
Metacham Uxie.
Okay.
We have to set Trick Room.
Sure. Metacham Uxie. Click him. And then if we're setting Trick Room, we want to follow it with Banette and Uxie, right?
Yep.
Big
Although,
boys. Yeah?
I was thinking we could go Tailwind, but
No, we just die.
Metacham's slow. Yeah.
I don't think we can set Tailwind up in this matchup. They brought the imprisoned team. Or something. I don't know.
Don't worry, we can. Oh god.
Do we Trick Room, Terra Fairy the Uxie, and Yawn the Dragapult? Or Mystical Fire it, probably? Mystical Power it, rather.
Terra Fairy? For
Yeah.
what?
Shadow Ball?
No,
Shadow
it's not. Shadow Ball is not a problem.
Terra Blast Ghost. I mean, it's fine. Oh, also Dragon Move. Any move that Dragapult goes for.
I want to
Uxie.
keep Terra for Ursaluna
Okay.
because
That's fine.
they have so much that hits Ursaluna.
That's fine. So I still think it's Trick Room and Mystical Power into Dragapult. Okay, let's see if they went for
sure.
the other attack in a way which did not impact the game. Okay, they went for the attack in a way which did impact the game.
Okay, I'll switch in Ursaluna here for Metacham. And
Yeah, that's probably choice band on Dragapult.
actually, no, I'll switch in Ursaluna for Uxie.
Why? I mean, I kind of get why. Okay, so switch in Ursaluna for Uxie. But what are we doing with Metacham then? Just going for Aura Sphere into Farigiraf?
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, that's fine. I just don't know that we are in a better position after that turn.
Okay, do you want to yawn Dragon Bolt?
No, I don't think
again,
Yawn
or
is helpful.
Farigiraf?
I think Mystical Power is.
Okay.
We want Uxie to be relevant. Sorry, did we Mystical Power the Farigiraf? Probably should have done that, right? Sad. Tragic.
It's okay. We're in. We have the burn.
We Terra
Ursaluna.
Ghost, Facade, and then Draining Kiss the Chimpao slot.
What about Earthquake?
Do you think that that will KO Draining Kiss plus Earthquake into Chimpao? If you think so, yes.
Yes, it will.
Cool.
Chimpao's frail. Also, we get
Pretty.
relevant damage on Farigiraf with the
Yeah,
ruin.
it seems like it should pick up. Yeah, I mean, with the Sword of Ruin. Extra damage into Farigiraf is not bad. If we flinch, I will cry. That did so much to Varicraf. That did like an unreasonable amount to Varicraf. So that definitely does look like Sash GM pound damage.
Now Dragapult sweeps our team.
Well, yeah, we did lose the Terra Fairy option, yeah. We probably don't get O-Code with Uxie, but it's not Dragon anymore.
Right. Do we yawn it?
What does it achieve?
Because we can't set Trick Room, and we can't...
We need to get rid of
kill
Varicraf, right?
Right, but...
Then Medicham
Dragapult's...
plus, like, Bullet Punch plus Sneak can remove it.
No, we can't Bullet Punch or Sneak.
I said we need to remove Varicraf so that we can.
Okay. But nothing is... Like, here, I think they just Gleam and... Terra Blast our Uxie.
Do you think we die?
Well, we don't kill Giraffe, so...
Yeah, which is why... should explain it more, but I was hoping that we would throw... I think we may die to Terra Blast, straight up. I guess Rotom would have been a better brain. They just brought Varicraf to match up fish all of the Banette, Medicham, Uxie teams that are on ladder.
I think Tornadus was actually the play. Oh no, he
Might have
put
been. It
on.
led well into their lead, though their full off was pretty rough for it. So, I mean, I think that we go for Earthquake and we go for Mystical Power into Varicraf and we just play around them throwing some way, right?
That...
It's a great example.
Okay.
That did nothing. So, does Medicham have Protect? Does Banette protect? We go Banette, Protect.
Banette have... Yeah.
Protect and Mystical Power, the Varicraf.
Rocky Helmet.
Of course. Wasn't that exactly what you expected? I just remembered that Protect, Dragon Darts beats Protect.
But they... Oh right, it'll kill. I don't think we need to protect.
I think we have to... Yeah, I think we have to take the hit with Banette. I think we just go for Shadow Claw into Dragon Bolt.
I can sack Medicham here.
No, we were hoping to do that next turn. I think we just Gunk Shot the Varicraf and Draining Kiss the Dragon Bolt.
That did nothing.
Okay, no. I was hoping we would live that. Am I underrating Varicraf? I guess I am, based on that damage. That Psychic did 43. Okay, apparently it was a roll, depending on how special attack invested they are.
Let's see if they're really... what do you call it?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, we might as well. Like, it achieves nothing to not go for it. Well... I think game will last slightly longer. Yeah, I wasn't suggesting Draining Kissing the Fairy because of Helmet.
I forgot that was an interaction.
That's okay. Well, you know, I think we are living and learning that matchups are easier when the team is Rock Blast, Arcanine lead.
And they missed Rock Blast 3 times.
Sorry, excuse me. Well, this seems like a Tailwind matchup, right?
Yes. Torn. There's no
Torn
Wind
Uxie.
Storm resist here.
Torn Uxie, Rotom, Banette?
Sure, yeah.
Torn Uxie, Rotom, Banette. There was nothing for Banette for Rotom to discharge against. I missed Thunderbolt. We need to prevent Trick Room somehow. I don't think we can. So we just do damage, because we don't have Taunt on. Taunt. They are, like, hard countering. Okay, well I think we just Bleak Wind Storm and Yawn the Oranguru.
Yeah.
Alright, we're making the Rillaboom better in Trick Room. That was the main thing we wanted, right? I think they've just clicked Trick Room this turn.
Oh, if we on the other slot. No, no, it doesn't matter.
Yawning the other slot would have been terrible, because the Rillaboom was always U-turning there.
Yeah, I know. I realized that.
So, do we double switch Rotom and Banette in, or do we let Uxie die?
Do you want to switch Rotom in? It's just gonna die.
Yes, but then the Oranguru is going to be asleep, and then Torn won't die if it Terrafires. You can sack Banette instead.
No, Banette is like our damage option here.
So...
Okay, yeah, I think we sack
Rotom Uxie?
Yeah. Oh, I thought he was gonna instruct.
I also thought he was going to instruct. I think the Uxie dies anyway. It does. I mean, I guess we go Banette because they've locked in. So we protect and Shadow Sneak the Torkoal.
Yep.
It's Charcoal. It can protect itself. See if it does. Didn't go for Fake Out. I guess they didn't need to, because everything dies. I swear, I've played like 1 Tornadus outside today. So we protect, we go for Terrify and Heat Wave. Let's see how much this eruption does. 50%. You know what? That's not too bad. We don't have... Actually, I don't know why I went for Heat Wave. The Bleak Wind was just better.
Now we triple protect.
Yeah. We click Protect with our Pokemon that doesn't learn Protect. It's too good. Our opponent was simply a better player than we were. Why did they instruct? Wouldn't just attacking with Oranguru be better? Because you're playing around Heat Wave misses. Ultimately, I think at some point we did something wrong in this prep, and it was probably these three.
It was using Banette. That was the problem.
But Banette was our damage. It was like our best Pokemon in most of those games besides Saluda.
I think it got 1 attack off, and that was on the Torkoal in the last game.
No, we clicked the Shadow Claw as well. But we did run into multiple slower Trick Room teams, and then an Imprisoned Trick Room, which none of that really helped, I'll admit. I don't know that Banette is a Pokemon you should necessarily draft if you're at 3 points. It may not be good enough at 3 points. Uxie's pretty reasonable, but I think that it maybe is better at the screens role than the Trick Room role.
Maybe. I think it's hard on ladder because
there's a million dark types.
Yeah, a million dark types, and it's also just like a third-rate Trick Room setter.
Yeah, but you can use any Trick Room setter you want, basically. Like most Trick Room setters are like pretty useful. Armarouge is usable, Articuno, Azelf not really as a Trick Room setter, Bronzong you can use, Carbink you can use, Crest you can absolutely use. I've seen Drifblim be valuable. You can fit Trick Room on a Spathra, though it's not a good Trick Room setter. Farigiraffe is definitely a good Trick Room setter. Fluttermane's a good Trick Room setter, you know. We had good use of Gengar as a Trick Room setter in one of the previous episodes, like, Goth. Obviously Hatterene is quite good. I wouldn't necessarily use Hatcham or Haunter. The Indeedee more so the female one, but both are good at it. Iron Valiant sometimes takes on Trick Room. Meowscarada can use it. Medicham can use it when it isn't being imprisoned, as we saw. Mimikyu's really good. Like, I feel like you can really use most Trick Room setters in this format, and they're okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think if we stuck to using Banette as a Trick Room setter, maybe rather than an abuser, it may have been better as well. But yeah, I think Uxie is fine. We saw it sitting there, and it was physically defensive, and it was still taking special moves reasonably well. But it probably needs some sustain. we didn't have any sustain for it on this team. The fact it doesn't have Life Dew is definitely a miss on it, which is why I think the screens are maybe better paired with maybe an Intimidate mon that's reasonably strong as well, like maybe one of the Tauruses. But yes, Uxie is probably best used, I think, as screens. But yeah, like I don't know why you would use Uxie over even Mesprit, let alone Cresselia on ladder, because Mesprit's slower, so it's going to use Trick Room better. But you could. I just don't know why you would. Ultimately, yeah, Banette maybe not the best Pokemon in the format. Do you have any final comments?
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe indeed, my friends. Goodbye.
And leave a comment.
Comments down below about our upcoming episodes.
Comment about why you love Banette and why you're going to draft it.
Banette deserves
next season.
Banette deserves a bit of a pick me up. Goodbye.